It's a strange irony. In the state of Meghalaya, the very people who grow the food for everyone else, well, they're the ones struggling to get by. Agriculture is supposed to be the backbone of the economy there, but it feels like it's at a breaking point. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into what's really going on.
And that really brings us to the central question, doesn't it? If agriculture is the main way of life for most people in Meghalaya, why are the farmers having such a hard time? It doesn't add up. On the surface, it makes no sense. So let's unpack this whole paradox.
All right, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to start with the people right at the heart of it all, the farmers themselves. It feels like they've been forgotten, and figuring out why is how we get to the real core of the problem.
And here's the thing, it really boils down to one word: priorities. The government's focus, its money, its attention, it's all been shifting towards other things, big industrial projects, city development. And while that's been happening, the entire agricultural world and the farmers who depend on it have just been left behind.
Now this neglect, it's not just some abstract concept. It has real, everyday consequences for farmers. We're talking about a lack of basic stuff like irrigation to water their crops. It means not being able to get good quality seeds or fertilizers. And then you've got middlemen who come in and take advantage, pushing prices way down. And maybe worst of all, there's no safety net, no guaranteed minimum price for what they grow. It's just a constant uphill battle.
Okay, so it's not just about being overlooked. Sometimes the system itself is the one putting up roadblocks. Even when there are programs that are supposed to help, with all the best intentions, they just don't seem to reach the people on the ground. So let's take a closer look at why that's happening.
Which leads us to this really big question. There are these huge national support schemes out there, like PMKSON, that are designed specifically to give farmers financial help. So if these programs exist, why aren't farmers in Meghalaya actually benefiting from them? What's going wrong?
And here are the answers, laid out plain and simple. First off, a lot of farmers don't even know these programs exist because the government outreach is so poor. It's an information gap. Then, even if they do find out, they're hit with a wall of bureaucracy that's just a nightmare to navigate. And maybe the biggest roadblock of all, so many farmers don't have proper land records, and without that paperwork, they can't even sign up to get the help in the first place.
And this quote, man, it really cuts right to the heart of the matter. It says, "A low-budget allocation reveals the government's true priorities and its neglect of the sector that employs the majority of its citizens." That's so powerful, because it's a reminder that a budget isn't just a spreadsheet with numbers. It's a statement. It's a declaration of what and who really matters.
So, this lack of investment, it creates a whole other nightmare for farmers, and it all starts the second the crops are harvested. We're talking about the post-harvest squeeze. This is where farmers literally watch all their hard work and potential profit just evaporate.
And you could see that frustrating cycle right here. So picture this. A farmer harvests their produce, and it's perishable, right? It's going to go bad. But there's no cold storage, nowhere to keep it fresh. That means they are forced to sell it, and sell it now. That desperation is exactly what middlemen are waiting for. They can swoop in and set incredibly low prices, and the farmer has no choice but to accept.
The contrast here couldn't be clearer. On one side, you have the current situation. Farmers sell their raw produce for pennies. The state loses out on money. On the other side, you have what could be. With the right infrastructure, like processing facilities, farmers could turn that raw produce into something more valuable. The state could create jobs and bring in more revenue. It's not just a missed opportunity. It's a massive amount of potential just being left on the table.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the challenges. It can all feel a bit grim. But what's the path forward? That's what we're getting into now. We're shifting gears from the problems to the solutions. And this is all about a push for change that's coming from the citizens themselves and the real steps that could lead to genuine empowerment.
So what are these key demands for a better future? Well, first up, a real agricultural policy that is designed for small farmers, not just big operations. Next, the creation of what are called farmer-producer organizations, or FPOs. These let farmers team up and bargain as a single, more powerful unit. Third, a serious government investment in that infrastructure we keep talking about: irrigation, better roads, storage facilities, and finally, using a really powerful tool to make sure it all happens.
And that tool is the right to information, or RTI. And honestly, this is a total game changer. It gives any citizen the power to ask for official information from the government. Think about that. People can use it to find out where the money that's supposed to go to farming projects is actually going. It's all about forcing transparency and holding everyone accountable.
Which leaves us with this one final, thought-provoking question. When you look at the whole situation in Meghalaya, from the years of neglect to this incredible potential for a better future, it all seems to come down to this one idea. The solution isn't just about waiting for policies to be handed down from the top. It's about the power of regular people, informed citizens, demanding change from the ground up. So what happens when they stop waiting and start asking the tough questions? That might just be the answer to everything.